very happy that happened because I love the Mac. I love the Mac. Return of the Mac. Never mind. Okay, let's keep moving. All right, so here we are again, of course. And as always, how does every game start? Coin toss, baby. Let's check it out. All right. Well, as you know, there are 8 new. Welcome back, Delilah. Thank you for coming back. We appreciate that. But yes, as you guys know, there are 8 new head coaches in the NFL that all had their debuts this past week. And we're each going to take one, so I'll give you a quick overview of the other 4. Obviously, the Tennessee Titans have Brian Callahan, who lost to Delilah and I's beloved Bear, 24-17. So 0-1 for Mr. Callahan to start his tenure in Tennessee. So sorry, Brian. Oh, well. Washington Commanders, Dan Quinn, obviously lost their first game 37-20 with a new quarterback, Jaden Daniels. So, of course, we'll be looking at him as he goes on in his rookie year. Seattle Seahawks coach Mike McDonald got his victory, 26-20, so he's 1-0 to start his campaign. And then, of course, the final coach, and poor Dave Canales, coaching the Carolina Panthers is probably one of the most thankless jobs in the NFL right now. They took it on the chin pretty hard. It was 47 to 14? See, I can't even read my own writing, folks. Do you see what happens here when you get old and can't read? 47-10, Panthers go down to the Saints. But let's get into the coaches we are going to talk about because these are some big names, and these are some names that I feel like, so we're going to start with Delilah because she has a college football favorite who is now back in the NFL. So, Delilah, give us what happened with old Jim Harbaugh this week.
He got the W, and I'm sure he's happy. It wasn't pretty, but he got the W. And that's what we look
Definitely
at, right? We talk about that all the time. So he didn't lose his first game back, but that just tells that's pretty common with Jim Harbaugh, though. Like, it takes him, like, he wants to see what his players could do. He doesn't just build a championship-winning team. We already know that. We saw what he did at Michigan. We saw what he did with San Francisco back, when they went to the Super Bowl and it was Harbaugh versus Harbaugh. So we know he can get the job done, and it may not happen this season, but he got the W. So I'm excited to see what else he does with the Chargers. And if he can get Herbert to be the quarterback that everybody thought he could be, I'm still out on that. I know he's supposed to be I know you like him, Nick. I know you had big.
I do. I'm a Herbert fan, and I that's why I feel bad for him because Harbaugh likes to run.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Yeah. We'll see what happens with Harbaugh, but should be cool to watch. I'm interested to see how the season goes with him.
Oh, for sure. Like I said, I do want to see if you can get that, get the passing out of Herbert with getting rid of, with Keenan Allen gone, Mike Williams gone. You got a new crop of receivers there with the Chargers, so you want to see how the passing game looks. I mean, obviously, like I said, Jimmy likes to run. So, yeah, we're definitely looking forward to that. Handy, your Falcons got a new head coach. One, Mr. Raheem Morris. Not such a favorable result this first week, but go ahead, give us a little bit about Raheem and your opinion as well about the new coach of your Falcons.
The Falcons is trash. Raheem Morris is trash. That's the end of my review. No, honestly, man. I mean, he went 4-7 as the head coach when they had him before. Now, I wasn't expecting him to come in and do great things as at taking over a team that was at the spot that they were in when he took over. But I at least said, you know what? Maybe he's grown a little bit. Maybe he's developed. Nope. He put in the $140 million man who proceeded to throw a pick six on a crucial fourth quarter drive. They got a young set of surgically repaired young set of legs on the sidelines that could do so much better. I don't know. My jury's still out. It's week 1. A lot of people are saying you're overreacting. For those of you that are saying I don't even know where the hell my camera is. For those of you that are saying that I'm overreacting, damn it, I've been watching the Falcons throwaway games my whole life. With 3 F's on the end of it. And a UH. That's how you spell it. Life for like Jeff .com. We've been throwing games away. And the first thing they did, I don't know. I'm going to calm down because my doctor said my blood pressure medicine is working very well. And so
Oh,
I don't
good.
try and keep it that way. But I don't see big things coming out of Raheem. And here's the funny part. Here, you want to know how jacked up everybody? Y'all know Wikipedia is edited by users, right? Do you know what it
Yes.
says under the second stint as the it's his second stint as the Atlanta Falcons coach? On January 25th, 2024, Morris was hired as head coach of the Atlanta Falcons over the likes of Bill Belichick, who also interviewed for the position. He would then be destroyed in week 1 against the team's old head coach, Arthur Smith. Do you see people are fired? We take fans are catching strays from Wikipedia. Come on, man. Come on,
Hey,
man.
man.
We gotta do better. We got
No,
to do better.
and now Justin Field led Pittsburgh Steelers. So there you go. We'll be interested to see how that goes as well, right?
What's that? What'd you say?
I said with the now Justin Field led Pittsburgh Steelers because he got the start in week 1. He's barely about to start in week 2 and he played Tita's Broncos next week. So I thought Russ might get a nod there, but apparently they're looking like going with Justin again. So we'll see. Should be fun. So Tina, we'll go to you next, even though we're not talking about your coach because Sean Payton has been there. But you got Antonio Pierce for the Las Vegas Raiders. Go ahead and give us what you got.
I'm going to try and keep it under control. Normally, I start talking Raiders, I'm spitting fire and everything and all into that. That game, Raiders are going to Raider. I'm just going to say it that way. I'm not even, I'll get into the fight, but Antonio Pierce, who in their right mind actually thought Minshew would be better than O'Donnell, who had played for the entire season before? I mean, everybody, we all said it. The rest of us in the AFC West said, this is not a good idea. Minshew, flash in the pan, situational. He looked horrible on Sunday. Not even getting into the fight that was in the end zone during the game that a Raider and a Charger got kicked out of. It's the Raiders just aren't looking good. They're not good. They lost Josh Jacobs. They got Devontae Adams, and it's a bunch of people I don't know other than that. And I was sitting there laughing at one point. Before the fight happened, there was another scuffle earlier that there was a whole bunch of charges around Max Crosby, and that almost started a fight too. So I get frustrations, but Antonio, you got to get your house in order. This is the guy that they brought in because your boys liked you and they wanted you to take over when McDumdum got fired. So get your house in order, or you're going to be down in the basement with us.
The Broncos could even finish ahead of the Raiders.
And all those Raider fans, they were like, good riddance, Carr's gone. He was holding us back. How you feel now? All I got to say.
Yep, exactly. No, again, he put up 47 on the Panthers, so there you go. Like, right, Derek Carter, whatever.
Yeah, well, the Panthers.
I mean, what are you going to do, right? The Raiders are the Raiders, and I know.
The Raiders.
I know it's the Panthers, but still,
they're not good.
The Raiders. No, I get it. No, and so I'm taking Gerard Mayo. It's okay. No, it's hilarious. I think it's kind of funny that you got this beautiful new stadium there in Vegas and your team. So there you go. That's pretty much going to be all season, I think. So moving on to Los New England Patriots, of course, we all know Mr. Belichick is no longer there. We get to hear him rant every week in the booth on these different shows, so that'll be fun. I'm getting Bill's opinion on everything. I guess they were already criticizing him for some of the stuff he said, so that'll be fun. But, of course, Gerard Mayo took over, and, of course, Gerard played for the Patriots from 2008 to 2008 or 2009 to 18, whatever it was there. He took over as the inside linebackers coach for 4 years after he retired, and then they gave him the job. So what does Gerard go out and do in his first game? Only upsets the Cincinnati Bengals 16-10. But again, Gerard is not dealing with a great. You got Jacoby Brissett as your quarterback. You've got a young Drake May behind him that obviously you drafted because you want that kid as your future. You got, Ramondre Stevenson is like your lead back, which, no offense to Ramondre, does not strike fear in the hearts of anyone. I mean, you just don't have a lot of New England, but somehow you scratched and clawed and you beat a team that always seems to just start slow. What is with Cincinnati and always getting off to these slow starts every year? Like, I just don't get it. How are you not ready to play? I mean, I get it. You got rid of your best, to me, like, you got rid of Joe Mixon. Like, he's gone. Like, I'm not sure why that happened, why you couldn't retain that kid. I don't know. I mean, you just, I don't know, T. Higgins, just Cincinnati just starts slow. They always do. Even the year that they went to the Super Bowl, didn't they start like 3-4? So I mean, like, Mayo, I don't know how many wins you're going to get this year, but the week we're going to get into, because as I mentioned, Gerard Mayo in his first game wins, and the big upset this week, of course, was Cincinnati losing to those New England Patriots. So, Handy, I'll go to you first, because again, we all like to just sit back and observe and watch football and just have a good time. What is it going to take for Cincinnati now to really get themselves going to bounce back after this Week 1 loss to the Patriots?
Joe Burrow has to stop tripping over blades of grass in the stadium and straining things. Number one. The boys' pregame outfits are fire. But it's almost gotten to the point where if somebody blows on him too hard, he's become the man of glass, which is crazy given the fact he played at LSU in the SEC and just got beat up week in and week out. Or maybe some of those injuries are coming back to haunt him. I'm not sure, but that is number one. First and foremost, outside of that, I got no answers for you because the NFL is making no sense to me. It is Week 1, and the NFL is making no sense to me already. So I'm just going to stick with keep Joe Burrow healthy, and maybe we'll see more. Maybe we'll see better results for them. Now, again, it's since Delilah stole my line, and again, I'm gonna steal yours. It is Week 1, and it's our buddy Sean has a segment on his show they call Overreaction Monday. Are we overreacting? We don't. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out in a few weeks. Well, no. In my case, I definitely know I'm not overreacting. I don't think. I'm telling you, if the Falcons win 6 games this season, I'll be surprised. But as far as the Bengals, and I'm being generous.
No, I meant we're overreacting on this situation with Patriots beating the Bengals. 2 key factors were not in that game. Jamar Chase just got his extension approved, and he hadn't seen the book in 6 weeks. And T. Higgins is still negotiating. His 2 biggest boys were out of that game.
Yeah,
that's just the way it comes down to it.
But let me ask you this then, Tina, since you brought it up. But that begs the question. The fact that Jamar was holding out until he got his extension, essentially, didn't get any real work in. Do you blame him or do you blame the team? Do you sit there and go,
I don't blame
Jamar?
anyone. I'm saying that the Patriots were able to take advantage of a situation in which Joe Burrow's 2 biggest weapons were out of that game. One played for 10 plays and was out because he doesn't know what they've done. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying, like, everybody's like, oh my God. It's like, no, it's not a big deal.
No, that's fair.
His 2 biggest weapons are gone. He's not. It's going to be a tighter game in that situation. So, and Jared Mayo is a defensive guy. He played defense. He knows how to do those situations. So he knows how to take advantage of those mismatches and those in the matchup. So that's my whole thing. I don't think fans need to burn down the house yet, but
right. I don't want them to do that either.
Slow. They always have started slow and they pick up speed towards the end. So, but everybody's just that fact's not being talked about is what was going on with their contract negotiations. That's not Joe's fault. That's not the team's fault.
No, I know it's not Joe's fault, but
it's it's both parties. It's the people trying to do the negotiation. But you can't blame a guy for trying to make his wallet. So.
No, I don't blame, but I'm just saying, like, the fact that you don't get any work in then, like you said, now you're trying to figure out what's going on. It just didn't work, and again, maybe that's the reason. I don't know. Again, I'm just speculating. Again, it is only week 1. I know everybody gets excited and we start talking about stuff, and like you said, the overreactions come and all that stuff. So you just well, obviously but again, I only thought it. Again, for what was supposed to happen, that was definitely the upset of the week. So that's why I wanted to bring it up, because again, it was just one of those things where you go, oh, I was not expecting that. I mean, the Buffalo Bills almost lost to the Cardinals, which would have been an upset as well, but they managed to get the victory in that game, so they saved themselves from that one. So yeah, we ended up going with New England over Cincinnati. So let us move on, because the next segment is one that we all know, we all love. It's a favorite. It's been here since the beginning. So let us turn it over to our Delilah Crespo and Diversity with Delilah.
Hey, that was fast. All right. So let's talk about the NFL Sports Medicine Pipeline Initiative. It's basically a program they brought about. What I like about it is when we talk about diversity in the NFL, it's not just about the stereotypical of players, coaches, which is important, right? I'm not downgrading that, or management, all of that we talk about. But also there's sports medicine. We've seen all these healers go out and really do a good job of protecting the players. And then afterwards, they're the ones that they go see for consultations. And so basically what this is about is promoting inclusion in sports benefits as well as benefiting the league. 12% of the physicians in the NFL, only 12% identifies Black, Hispanic, or Native American. And so this initiative addresses that critical need for representation by connecting students from 21 medical schools to real life, real world NFL clinical experiences. And so in its first 2 years, 50 underrepresented medical students have gained valuable hands-on experience with actual NFL medical teams. They've trained in primary care, in orthopedic sports medicine, making sure that the NFL's medical staff better reflects and serves diverse athletes, right? And so again, it's not just about the players. It's not just about all of these positions that we think about, like the referees and the officials, but also the medical staff, right? Just across the board, diversity for the NFL is a good thing. And so this pipeline will foster talent that wasn't tapped into before, that were ignored, or the doors were closed to them. And so this initiative was created by the NFL to at least address it. I know the NFL is problematic in some ways for some people, but they are trying to address it, right? It's progress we talk about all the time. And so somebody has to do it, and I think this is great. So the initiative not only opens doors for aspiring medical professionals, but also leads to improved care and innovation within the league. It's a win-win for everybody. If you want to learn more about this program, go to the NFL Diversity in Sports Medicine page. Literally, it's just that. NFL Diversity in Sports Medicine, and you could learn a little bit more about this initiative that is trying to bring more diversity into the medical staff that are actually serving in the NFL and taking care of all these guys out there and helping them get back on the field. So again, a field people don't think about, sports medicine, and the fact that only 12% are either Black, Hispanic, or Native American. So there you have it, Diversity with Delilah. It's good to be back.
All righty. Well, thank you Delilah, for that. Again, that's a stat I would have never have guessed. So thank you for that information. That's great. And yeah, I do hope that more people, more that does change, and that we can, have a more diverse medical staff for all these teams. I think that would be phenomenal. So far, we've tried to entertain you for the first, 18, 19 minutes of our show. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more. Enjoy this. All right, yeah, that's okay.
But hey, look,
you never know what's going to happen on a live show. This is what I say. Things happen. We roll with it, people. We just keep on going. But anyways, so yeah, hey, this is why we love this show, right? Because it's live. Anything can happen. You never know. I mean, hell, my internet's acting up. I keep getting circles on my screen every now and again, and I don't know what just happened. But anyways, let us go on to our next segment. And I'll talk to the internet people later. But of course, another popular segment on our show where Miss Tina here gets to explain everything that none of us understand because we're all goofy. But no, Tina, take it away. It's time for the corner office.
Got a couple of topics. We're gonna hit a little bit. I know everybody absolutely loves this new kickoff return policy that's in place, and I wanted to give you guys a little bit of information on it just to kind of give you an idea. And I'm going to also give a recommendation that I read that I think will make this policy better. One is they are saying through the 15 games so far, we've had 63.5% of the kickoffs have been touchbacks, which is a decrease from last year's percentage of 73%. So the touchbacks are being reduced down, but right now my feeling on this is the teams they haven't completely worked out their game plan on this issue to figure out what they're going to do and everything. So right now it just makes more sense. It's only 5 more yards, just get a touchback, you go to the 30 and you're done. But they did say that 34% of the kickoffs were returned, and that's up from 20.5% in 2023. So the things that they kind of wanted to happen are kind of making their way and kind of bubbling to the top, but you're not going to see the dramatic hits anymore. But I did want to give you guys one stat that I did read, and I thought this was kind of interesting because everybody's like, how's this going to affect them running back? Last year, we had 4 kickoff returns for a touchdown. We've already had 1 in 1 week. So that's what can happen with this. It's not as dynamic as they were claiming and all of this stuff. But in my opinion, I think this was more done for safety purposes than anything else. And the rest of it was just them trying to get people on the wagon. Now, this is what I have heard said, and I think this is what they should do, is you want to stop touchbacks. You need to put the ball in a different area. Move it to the 35, move it to the 40-yard if you kick a touchback. Because then that starts affecting field position, and that also starts affecting where the ball is placed. And that's a different game when you're talking about that your penalty for not kicking it to one of the 2 guys in the landing zone is it's going to go on your 40 automatically. Teams will start playing with that more. The other thing we're going to talk about, Ben kind of noted it earlier in this month, that it looks like Tom Brady's purchase of the Raiders is going to be going in front of the owners committee again. And I kind of touched on this. I said one of the reasons why I really thought that this was having a problem going through was because of his job as an analyst for Fox Sports. And the restrictions that they're talking about that are going to be brought in front of the owners committee when it goes for a vote are making this come through, is backing up what I thought. So essentially what's going to happen, when these analysts go for their game of the week that they're calling, they go and they have interviews with these guys. They go to the team headquarters. They interview everybody. They're in and out. They're talking to all of these guys. Tom's not going to be able to do any of that stuff because he's an owner. He could be a possible owner. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out if he does get approval and becomes a minority owner, how it will play out and how he does his job, because he's a color analyst and he's being paid a lot of money for this. So again, this is another situation that I find very interesting to follow, because I think he needs one or the other. In order to do the job right, he needs to be one or he needs to be the other. But he's been paid a lot of money by Fox Sports, so it'll be a situation that I'll keep an eye on and keep going. I think he'll possibly get approved. He's just going to have a lot of restrictions. And one of the things that is going to be more difficult is as you know, analysts are not supposed to critique the refs. They're not supposed to say he was bad, that was a wrong call, et cetera, et cetera. I know some of them do it. That's Gene Stanatori and the penalty guys. But they skate a very fine line on that. They know what they can and cannot say. My issue is if he says something just kind of getting into the thing, what will actually happen to him? So that's what's going on with Tom Brady, and hopefully the kickoff returns start picking up a little more speed with some of these with the new rules. All right, back to you guys.
All righty then. Well, thank you very much for that, Tina. Again, yeah, I'm very interested in this whole Tom Brady thing. I don't know if you guys actually watched the Cowboys-Browns game and listened to Tom in his first game as analyst. Now, again, it's not a job that I have. It's not a job that I've truly done except for a couple of wrestling things locally. But I didn't think he was that bad. A lot of people were critical of him, and maybe that's just because they don't like Tom Brady. I don't know. But personally, I didn't think he was that bad this first time doing it. I don't know if you guys have an opinion or care to weigh in on that. But I just felt, the guy's getting used to the job. It was his first time. Let's give him a chance, see what he does, see if he improves and does all his thing. But I didn't think it was so bad, but I read a lot of criticism online and things like that. What do you guys think?
Well, like what I said, I think he's hamstrung because he can't do interviews with these guys. He can't talk to the defenders. He can't talk to the coaches. He can't do anything because it would be seen as a conflict of interest. You can't come into someone else's headquarters as an owner. Yeah, he's a minority owner, but he still has eyes and ears. And in order for there not to be a direct conflict of what he's doing, they have to put those rules in place. And no other analyst is going to have those kinds of restrictions. So I know a lot of people are like, well, that's not right. You can't restrict him that way. He's going to get it. He's going to get his purchase approved. One, because I think the Raiders need the influx of money.
Yeah,
is one reason.
They certainly do, don't they?
As Ben has said kind of in our comments, Brady is the face of the NFL. They're not going to say no to him. He's just going to have to jump over so many hurdles in order to get all the owners on board. Because remember, every owner has to approve this.
I think
it's not just you get 75. You get one owner that says no, it won't go through.
I just feel like Tom Brady could make that happen because, like Ben said, it's who he is. I think that they would be excited to have such a wealthy young man because compared to all the rest of them who are like dinosaurs, most of them.
Right.
Yeah, none of the other owners are going on national television and calling games on their opponents and all of that. That's the big.
I agree. But I do think that they're going to give him some caveats because of who he is, because he won 7 Super Bowls, and because I do think he'll be given, even though he's going to jump through hoops, they're going to give in just because of who he is. And I agree. I think he did a good job actually as an announcer. He was better than Tony Romo.
He'll get looser the more he goes, and the more he gets into it. I mean, think of all of these guys. Troy was a robot the first couple of years. What did you say, Andy?
No, I noticed that too because he seemed like he wanted to open up and say some stuff, but he was kind of like not sure what you know how to
Yeah. Like he's got to get his persona on TV, like who he's going to be and how he's going to do it. So he's going to play with a lot of that. So
I think
he'll get approved. Yeah. It's just that it's going to be a very closely watched situation.
Not everybody is like Marshawn Lynch, who's just funny, who is like, the Manny brothers who just have that. Some people are just made for that, they just hop on and just they're funny or or just, fun to
Yeah.
watch. And he'll go
Right.
into his own.
Yeah.
I think Tom will be all right. And again, if not, he could always go back to playing football, right? Because he's the king of the
I
comebacks.
don't
Right?
think
Just
so.
whatever. I know. I'm just messing around, but
Well,
all
that
right,
was
let's
the
move on.
rumor.
Yeah,
He was
I
gonna
know,
come to
right?
The Raiders.
Exactly. Let us. Yeah, he becomes the owner of the quarterback. Let us move on. They could use him. Let us move on though, because we can talk about that all day, and then Sean will throw on the video of him throwing the trophy again, and we'll all good. It'll throw it all into chaos. But let's move on to our team recap. Sorry, I know I could talk. So yeah, this is something I think giving you guys know that we're not just a fan of just one team here. We have a small, diverse group of us, and Handy, we're going to start with you. Your beloved Falcons. Again, we think we got your feelings on the coach, but your first game you took on the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you took the L this week. Go ahead and give us what your impressions of the game itself, not so much the coach, but just your impressions of the game and what it is you're looking for this season from your Falcons.
You want my impression of the game?
Yes, I do. Give it to me, baby. Give it to me, baby. Give it to me, baby.
Because it drops back to pass. Looking left, toes right. It's been picked off, and it's going to be a pick six. The Steelers have a pick six in the fourth quarter. That's my impression of the game.
The trash can.
The trash can. The trash.
Honestly, you know what though? I joke, but looking at the fact that this game, the defense was able to keep this game close enough to the point that it was winnable, that is a good takeaway. The fact that they have a quarterback that's getting paid 7, 8, 9 figures that's been in the league for now 12 years that throws a pick six in the fourth quarter, that one is concerning. The fact that the organization thought it was a good idea to go, hey, this guy was kind of mediocre last time. Maybe he won't be as mediocre this time, and they went back and they hired him. That is a concern for me. The fact that the guy that is the owner and CEO of Home Depot, Arthur Blank knows more about where to put a P-trap on a sink than he does about running a football team. I'm just saying, and then he might not know anything about that. He's got that's the thing I can't figure out. He's got some really smart people over at Home Depot. Home Depot is like the number one home improvement brand in the country. Okay. And he can't figure out how to get some smart people to know something about football, that know how to coach a football team, to know how to motivate a football team. I don't see a lot. After I know, again, Overreaction Monday, it's week 1, but I watched the team from the Bayou hang 57 11 points on whoever it was they played, and
47
on Carolina.
Yeah,
but it's Carolina too, right? So
it don't matter. It doesn't matter when you play a team like the Steelers. The Steelers are not who they used to be. Okay. They're not as dominant as they were when Tomlin first took them over. Although I would imagine that they have really good ratings because they got a coach that he's kind of, he kind of stocky and he talks rude. Anyway,
right.
I'm getting off the beaten path. That's an inside joke. We're going to leave it alone. They're not who they used to be. They're just not who they used to be. And we couldn't beat that team.
Right.
That's not very encouraging for me. I hate to come on here and be the sky is falling kind of guy. Just call me Chicken Little because the sky is falling, and I like chicken. So there you go.
There you go. All right, Andy. Thank you very much for that. Again, as the weeks go by, we'll be talking more about your Falcons, and I'm sure we'll get more of your candid impressions of what's happening there in Atlanta. Tina, we'll go to you. Kirk Cousins' performance this week may have given the Falcons thought of giving Chris Chandler a call to come out of retirement. Ben, that would be hilarious, Ben, if they did that one. That would be great. That would be phenomenal.
Listen, Skip. No, I got this one. We don't even work together. You're not supposed to be in the studio. If you don't stop it right now, Ben Cornett, nothing. I got nothing. And again, we want to thank anybody who's out there watching. Ben. Right, there you go. Ben, thank you for tuning in and for commenting. We always appreciate that. And again, for all of you who are tuning in, thank you for tuning into the season premiere of Let's Talk Football, the Roundtable. Tina, we're going to go to you next in your beloved Denver Broncos.
what were your impressions of week 1 there? Didn't get the victory, but what did you think of Bo Nix and some of the other things that went on there?
Well, talk about overreaction Monday. Broncos Twitter is a cesspool of hell right now because it's everything from fire Sean, bench Nix, why did you let Judy go, all this other stuff. The game wasn't good. Not gonna lie, it was not a good game. And definitely, and I had this game in the offense, and their offensive line is pretty good too. So I personally think Sean Payton ran too safe of a plan with Bo. He should have let him off the wheels. Should have let him take the training wheels off a little bit. Because there was a nice 23-yard gain that he ran, and he did run one in for a touchdown. But it seemed like Javonte started getting something done, and he pulls him, and he puts in Estime. And Estime fumbled the ball that thankfully we got back right at the goal line. But then Estime was never in. And then it's McLaughlin. Well, McLaughlin's the little guy. And he was just getting caught behind the line of scrimmage all the time. And you got a rookie quarterback. They talked all this week. It's time for people to step up. The coaches have to step up. Defense has to step up. The wide receiver, the offense has to step up because this is a rookie quarterback. Well, nobody stepped up. That's just the way that it was.
Right.
And there were some flashes. But yeah, it was not a fun game. I did not enjoy the second half of that. The first half, okay. But I do like our one of our draftees from last year, Riley Moss. He's our new safety. Yeah. He's on the line. He looks good. So I'm thinking our secondary is getting better, but there's definitely a lot of work to be done. So we'll see what happens come this Sunday. Since we're playing Fields. Which we played them before and won. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me of that game last year. I didn't go off on that game at all. I don't remember what you're talking about. What do you mean?
That was a game that the three of us were trying to be very polite when talking.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
We didn't want to offend anyone. We're all sitting here. But we all just wanted to be like, what did I just watch? What was this? Because you guys had a good first half and a bad second half. We had a bad first half and a good second half.
We also don't hate each other's teams, so it wasn't like that's animosity either. So we're like, I don't know what this is right now, but we're gonna make it work.
Right. We're gonna get it. We're gonna do our job and give you the football.
We're gonna be civil and polite about this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're a civilized bunch for the most part. So yeah, we try.
But all of us do have our rants, and if we weren't in this situation, that would have been one that we would have been ranting about. Because
correct, you are correct.
But
exactly.
Yeah, I see good things out of Bo Nix. I like him a lot. I plugged this before, and I'll plug it again. If you guys know who Tim Jenkins is, he was a pro quarterback. He didn't really make it through. He is now doing his own show. It's called All Things QB. He breaks down the QBs in the league. He's been breaking down Caleb from the beginning. He's been breaking down Janian Daniels, Bo Nix, Anthony Richardson just got broken down. He's really good. And he points out the plays, like what he thinks is good, what he calls what's a no grade. And he's showing, like, there was a couple times in the comment, he's like, I don't know what the coaching staff was trying to do with this. I can't figure out what this play was. So you kind of get a little bit of a balance and a decision. And there's things I like there. The kid's going to need time.
Yeah.
If we win 8 games, I'll be a happy camper. Because I'm not one of the crazies that drank the juice and was like, oh, we're going to the Super Bowl. Like, Bo wasn't that good in preseason. It was preseason, guys.
Right. No, I get that. And again, Speaking of rookie quarterbacks, Delilah, our beloved Bears had their debut this week with Senior Williams and all of that. So I'll start with this. We'll start out slow. It's early in the season. We don't want to get through, but just give me your overall impression of the first game, Delilah. Let me, what did you like, dislike? Go ahead and tell me what you think of the Bears so far. Let's go with that.
Our offense didn't lose the game, so that's. I see that as an improvement. I know we didn't score points.
They didn't win it either, but okay, I got you. Right, I'm with you. They didn't win it either, but all right.
But they didn't cost the game,
No, they did not. They did not. That is true. Yeah. That is correct.
Yeah, guys. Yes, you're right. They didn't score any offensive points, but they didn't throw any pick sixes. They didn't, and so that right there is an improvement. I am a realist when it comes to rookies coming into the NFL. So I'm not hating on Caleb Williams. I'm excited to see how he develops and grows, but I didn't think he was going there to blow out another team just because it's Tennessee. I think people forget that as much as we joke about these teams, right? They're still NFL teams, regardless of at the end of the day. You're still playing another NFL team. And the belief that he was going to go out there and just light everything up, to me, was just not realistic. Right. And so I do give him props for, he obviously, again, his NFL debut, he was a little shaky, but he didn't turn over the ball. In my opinion, he handled himself pretty well. And he's still trying to get his rhythm. So I'm not upset at the kid. I mean, for real. I was not expecting him to just go out there and be like Joe Montana all of a sudden. Who thought that?
No, well, see, that's my thing. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, finish up. No,
but I'm excited about our defense because, Chicago has always been known about its defense. And so when our defense has been just, awful the last few seasons, it's been really depressing because that's just not, that for us is a big stain. Forget the offense, right? Even though we want a strong offense. But the sneaker is always with our defense. This is just who this is. It's a blue-collar town, guys. This is just who we are. Sorry.
100%. That's who, right. That is who we are.
And so seeing the pick sixes, that was beautiful. Special teams came through except for one guy, which I know we'll get to. But still, I like that part. I did like the pick sixes. That was beautiful. I'm never going to be mad at a pick six returned back for a touchdown. So that was exciting after I was crying for the first half.
Yeah,
you want a lot of people at almost home.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, see, that's the whole thing. I've been on record, so now everybody can throw their stones at me if they want to. Right? I always said I thought we should have kept Justin. Fine, we didn't. I was going to accept Caleb as our quarterback, but I said I want to give this kid 4 or 5 weeks to really see what he has. I didn't. Everybody all preseason, oh my God, this is the greatest thing in the world. We got Caleb Williams. He's going to be. No, he's still a rookie quarterback. In the history of Chicago football, when have we ever developed a quarterback? We haven't. And I know we get Shane Waldron, so everybody's excited, new coordinator, yada, yada, yada. It's still a rookie quarterback who's getting used to the speed of the game. I mean, maybe he was excited, he was anxious, nervous, but how many overthrows did that kid have in that game that could have been easy catches had he just relaxed and just flooded the ball in there? I mean, I get it. There was a drop touchdown pass. Not his fault. But there was overthrows to Adunze. There was overthrows to DJ Moore. There was overthrows to Cole Kmet. He just wasn't spotting the ball like I know that he can. And so that's part of that, getting into the rhythm, learning the speed of the game, being able to adjust when something bad happens. And that's the whole thing. You have to give him, if you're going to, because I've accepted now that Caleb is our quarterback. You got to give the kid time to develop. You really do. And yes, the defense absolutely bailed us out. The offense scored 2 points on a 2-point conversion. The other 22 points came from 2 Carlos Santos field goals in the defense. So, yes, our defense looked great. I love Cairo. I'm not going to lie. I love that kid. But, our defense won us this game. Like you said, the offense didn't lose it, but they didn't win it either. Defense stepped up in the second half, scored 24 unanswered points on Tennessee to beat them. So, yes, very happy with our Week 1 victory. Again, I look forward to what we can do. This offense is stacked with DeAndre Swift and Adunze and Keenan Allen and DJ Moore and Cole Kmet and like we have the makings of a really good offense. The line played okay. He had a lot of time to throw on a lot of the things. Obviously Tennessee got in there a few times, but for the most part, with the fact that we've revamped this line like 3 times in the last 3 years, I thought they played fairly well. So I'm going to take that as a victory. We'll go on to next week with a very tough Sunday night game against the Texans. So that will be a test for us also because I think Will Anderson is going for blood. And I really like that kid, by the way. I thought we should have tried to grab him. But anyways, next week is going to be the real test for us, and we'll see how we do. So we're going to, again, thank you again for staying with us. We're about 40-something minutes in. We're going to take another quick break, come back with more, and let's talk football, the Roundtable.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have been enjoying this, please be sure to tune in and watch Let's Talk Football and all of the Let's Talk Football family of shows. This is a break because I don't know where to find the break videos. So thank you all for tuning in today, and we're going to move right back into the rest of the gang, and we're going to move on to our next segment.
Now, see, this is what I'm talking about. Because this, my friends, is how you keep a show going. You can tell that Handy is a professional because he handled that beautifully. He's just like, I'm just going to talk in this microphone and tell you what's going on. All right. But no, so this is what I'm saying. Right. Him and that. By the way, if anybody out there is hiring a voiceover person, call this man. That was smooth. That voice is just, what is that, velvet? That's beautiful. But because that voice is just gold, my friends. But
I'm looking for my son Akeem.
There you go. Right, exactly. How do you not love that? That is phenomenal.
Side
let
note,
us move on.
Side note, before we move on, I did my first official paid gig as the PA announcer for PC West, the PC West Patriots. It was a lot of fun.
Good.
I could see the reactions when people looked around because they were used to the guy that was like 20 years older than me. That was like, now it's gonna be 4th and 3. I had a lot of fun with some of the PA announcements. Like anytime the opposing team got a penalty, I said, and the Walmart rollback, good for $10, 10 yards. There we go. Things like
there you go. Nice. Right, for sure.
They didn't win, but hey, look.
Well, I mean, still, good job on your gig. That's cool. Nice.
Right. Awesome, man. That's a good thing. Too bad I can't be there to watch and listen to you. Unfortunately, we live in different states, so I won't be able to come and see you in action. But I'm sure you were great.
I'm going to set up the phone and start filming.
Oh, okay. There you go. There we go. Now we can get highlights. I love it. Well, speaking of that, since Handy we took our break. Our next segment actually is the segment that Mr. Handy does, which I think everybody loves this one as well. It is time for the Rookie Spotlight. Take it away, Mr. Handy.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. How is everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Everybody doing good? You feeling good? You doing okay? Y'all up there in the cheap seats, those folks down there in the front, don't worry. The servers will be down here to get your beverages refilled, and we're going to keep the show going just for all of you. It is football season 2024. I'm looking at the wrong space for the camera is again. I moved it just 15 degrees that way. Hi, can y'all see my eyeballs now? Good. All right. It is week 1. Everything's said and done. It's all in the books. And I am back with this week's Rookie Spotlight. And Tina, by the way, thank you so much for that great lead in, because to this week's Rookie of the Week, I don't even have to give him an introduction. Bo Chapman-Nix. We talked about Colin and I talked about this guy a lot on a show someplace else that might talk about UGA football and SEC football. He was born in a town with a very interesting name. It is Arkadelphia, Arkansas. Okay, I'm gonna let that marinate for a minute. He was born in just let it marinate. Just there we go. Done marinating. The Instapot just went off. Dinner is served. All right. While he was in high school, he accounted for, are you ready for this figure? Over 15,000 yards of total offense and 201 touchdowns during his high school career. He was named Mr. Alabama. He was given the Mr. Alabama Football Award as a senior. He started out playing football in Arkansas, and then they moved to, I thought that said prison. That does say Pinson, Alabama, Pinson Valley High School. So he was on the team with the Mean Machine, huh? From the longest yard. All right, way to go. But he was named the best dual threat quarterback of his class. He committed to Auburn University. This wasn't that very long ago. So those of you that are still have all of your brain cells, and I'm over 50, so I'm at about 75%. We're all tracking right now. Had a very interesting career at Auburn. Identified, he definitely stood out as a quarterback. We know about some of the coaching changes and the personnel changes, and the transfer portal was really heating up at that point. So there was a lot of comings and goings. So he wasn't able to be as successful at Auburn as he wanted to be, but he did have some highlights. He did wind up in his freshman year as a true freshman. He did wind up beating Oregon. Irony. As a freshman quarterback, he also won the Iron Bowl over Alabama. And then the following season, he was struggling against the little team from my home state, Georgia State University, and got benched for TJ Finley. Then he wound up getting hurt, and he transferred out, wound up going to Oregon, playing under a coach that I personally am familiar with, former University of Georgia defensive coordinator Dan Lanning, where he absolutely flourished. While he was at Oregon, he led the Ducks to a 10-3 season, a 10-3 season, and a 12-2 season. Last season, of course, being the 12-2 season, where they were just that close to going to the Pac-12 championship, beaten out by a quarterback that's in Atlanta. Remember what I said about Atlanta? Okay, I just wanted to remind y'all. They got beat out by quarterback Michael Penix of the Washington Huskies. This past spring, the draft took place. He was the sixth of six quarterbacks taken in the draft at the 12th position by the Denver Broncos. And I got a chance to actually watch the very last preseason game. He has shown massive improvement. When he was at Auburn, Colin and I had a nickname for him. We called him Happy Feet, because the offensive line had so many holes in it. He was just kind of looking for it. He didn't know whether he wanted to run or dance a waltz or soil himself or whatever. It's just that he had very little time to get rid of the ball. Since then, since going to Oregon and now in the league, he seems more composed in the pocket. He seems to go through his reads more readily. I did not watch the game. I didn't get a chance to catch that game the other night, so I can't speak to what Tina saw. But what I did see in the preseason was he took his time. He went through his reads. He's very sure of himself. He's very accurate with his passes. And when he takes off and runs, chances are pretty good, if you're coming up to tackle him, that you're gonna get pad on pad. He will slide. He has learned to slide after he got hurt, but he's still young, and he's young, dumb, and full of Gatorade. So he's out there doing his thing. He might put shoulder pads and helmets on you. I had to clean it up. Don't laugh at me. So I'm looking to see, he was named the starter. So I'm looking to see this kid with Sean Payton. Sean Payton, we know what he did with Drew Brees, who was another quarterback who came into the league. Well, actually, Bo Nix came in with more accolades than Drew did. But you see what Sean Payton did with Drew Brees. I think that Sean Payton can do great things with this kid as well. Now that he is no longer playing for a conference rival, I'm giving him all the love. I'm wishing him all the luck. And whatever the thing is, like we say, go Dogs in Georgia-Tina. I don't know what y'all say in Denver, but whatever that is, that to Bo Nix. And great wishes and good God, good luck and well wishes to NFL starting quarterback Bo Nix of the Denver Broncos. I think that's where I'm going to stop before I go any further and totally tangle up the tongue and mess up the rest of the segment. So y'all enjoy your evening, and I will see you when I get smaller on the screen. There we go. Thanks so much.
All right, Andy, thank you so
Didn't I
much for
tell you
that.
we-
Yes,
didn't I tell you
I'm
we
sure
was starting the
Tina will
season with
be
a bang?
eagerly watching. Yo, don't we always? Don't we always? But I'm sure Tina will be watching Bo, as will the rest of us, as the season goes on. So, as you know, over the last 4 or 5 years that we've been on here, I usually do a segment called Nick's Picks. I've decided to ditch that this year, probably because I was terrible at it. I never had a winning record, and you guys probably didn't really care anyways. But that's okay. I love you guys anyways. So I got a little new segment for myself this year. What happened, Anthony? Go ahead.
At least play the video
You were gonna say something?
because it's the only break that I got.
If you were, go ahead. You know what? Go ahead. Play the video. All right, here we go. This is why not? All right. Well, thank you very much. The video was played. All right. So the name of my new segment is called Exit Stage Left. And yes, for those of you who are smart, you realize that that's probably a vain reference to the theater, because as I am a theatrical kid and I love musicals and all that good stuff. So I decided to call this segment that. Now, you're asking yourself, well, what does that mean, Nick? Well, for me, it means that every week I'm going to pick one person on one team and tell them to exit stage left. And so this week, it happens to be from my beloved Bear. And I really would like Velus Jones Jr. to exit stage left. Now, listen, this is his, third year in the league. The Bears have given this kid, and again, I'm not for people losing their jobs, but this kid has been given every opportunity to be on this team and make plays. And every year, he seems to screw it up somehow. And yet this year, we give him another shot. We put him in running back. I guess because, he's got some speed. So we try him there, even though we had like 5, 6 running backs in camp. We decided to give this guy a shot at it. So fine. He ran in the preseason a little bit. Yeah, he had a couple of flashes. Everybody's like, ooh. I still was hoping he didn't make the team, though. I'm like, why? You don't need him in the backfield for one with everybody we have back there with, Johnson and Herbert and Swift and Travis Homer and then Blasingame as the fullback. Why is Velus Jones in the running back room? Now, with the receivers we have, he shouldn't be in the receiver room. But yet here he is on the opening day roster, and what happens? Oh, they let him return a kickoff. And what does he do? He muffs the damn thing again. Come on, man. I mean, again, how many more chances do you got to give a guy before you just go, I don't think this is working? Like, let the kid go somewhere else and let somebody else pick him up and work with him or whatever it is, or get him somebody to talk to because maybe he's in his head. I don't know what it is. But I'm telling you, I don't want to see this all season. I really don't. I've watched this film for the last 2 years with Velus trying to be a return man, and he just hasn't been that great at it. And again, you just go, what do you see that I don't? What is it that, why do you keep this gentleman and you're giving him another chance again, and it just doesn't work? I want to understand, because I think we have the right people in place now in Chicago with, Poles as the GM. Again, I'm going to reserve any comment on Matt Eberflus to see how he does this year with a much better team. So I'm going to let that go for now. Shane Waldron as the coordinator. So, yes, I understand, Velus, but to me, it's time for you to exit stage left, my friend. I think your time is up and the curtain's coming down on you. Just my opinion. So tune in next week when I'll have another NFL player that I tell to go exit stage left. So, as you know, we always have one final segment every week on our show. And we're changing it up a little bit this year. It's still going to be called One Last Thought. But as you know, a lot of times, we did repeat ourselves, or we talked a lot about similar things because, again, we are all a compassionate, loving bunch. And we always want to encourage everyone to be their best and do their best and spread love and all that good stuff. So we threw that all out the window because now we just don't care. No, I'm kidding. So this year's, we're going to do something a little different. For One Last Thought, I'm going to throw out a question to these lovely people that we have here, and they're going to answer it. And we're going to talk about that briefly, and there we go. So I just came up with this one only because of the time of the year. It's September, followed by October, November, December, which to me are the 4 greatest months of the year. You got football starting, we got baseball playoffs, we got Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Like, I love this time of year. It's hoodie weather, sweater weather, phenomenal. So, to my esteemed panel here, my question is this for you. What are you most looking forward to in these last 4 months of the year? Handy, start with you, my friend. What are you looking forward to most in these last 4 months of the year? Could be anything, whatever it is to you.
I work for the government now, so I'm looking forward to getting every doggone one of these holidays off besides just Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I say that with full sincerity. I think it is a load of horse pucky that these companies will say, oh, well, you don't get Columbus Day off, even though it's a holiday, but you can take it as a floating holiday, but then they don't ever give you the time off to take the holiday. Floating, so call it a sinking holiday because you don't even see it after it go by no more. So I am actually looking forward to actually, I take that back. We don't get Columbus Day, but we get an extra day for Thanksgiving. We actually get
That's what my company did.
So this will be the first job I have worked for since I got out of the military 22 years ago that I actually will have Veterans Day off from work without having to take a PTO day.
Oh,
yeah. So Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, all that. And then besides that, it's been hella hot here this summer, so I'm looking forward to the cooler weather. It doesn't always get uber cold here, not like in Chicago, but I'm just looking forward to having some cooler temperatures here in Oklahoma City because your boy in the middle of July, you wouldn't have been able to, if we were doing a show in the middle of July, you wouldn't able to tell the difference between the top of the jersey and my face. I'm telling you. I'm just saying.
Oh, Handy. Yes. I love it.
Never a dull moment when
no, I agree. And Andy, I wish I could have heard half of what you said, but of course my internet's been acting up all night, so I apologize. So I'm going to have to go back and rewatch the show so I can hear what you said because I missed like the first 2 minutes of your entire thing. So, darn it. Delilah, we'll go to you next. I know. Hopefully I can hear what you have to say. What is
Nick said I sounded like Charlie Brown's teacher.
Yeah, but exactly. Well, pretty much. Like I said, I missed. All I saw was the circles on my screen, and when you finally came back up, you were talking about Columbus Day or Veterans Day. You get off this year, so that's all I heard. But we'll go to Delilah next. Delilah, what are you most looking forward to in these last 4 months of the year?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to fall. The brief amount of fall that Chicago's gives, like 2 weeks, but. No, but honestly, fall in Chicago really is like real. I know everybody talks about Chicago summers, and I understand, but honestly, like Chicago is really, really nice in the fall. Like there's still stuff going on. Like we're doing all the Oktoberfest stuff, right? And all the little like Halloween pop-ups, fall pop-ups, the fall festivals. I like doing all of those. I like apple cider, like
yeah, right. Oh, hey, absolutely.
Oh, the fall flavors, the maple, all of that. Yes, even pumpkin. But I enjoy that. I'm with Handy on that. I really like the sense of fall. Since once winter gets here, then it becomes brutal. So I like the little break in between.
Right, exactly.
And yeah, just settling into a routine again. I mean, I work all year round, but you know what I mean, Tina. Like, different work vibe in the fall than it is in the summer.
In the spring, yeah, in the summer, yeah, exactly. Beautiful. Well, thank you, Delilah, for that again. Tina, how about you? What are you looking forward to the most in these last 4 months of the year?
I have a couple because actually the end of the year is not great in my industry. We get busier the closer we get to the holidays, which kind of blows essentially because families all like, hey, let's all get together, and I'm like, yeah, sorry, I can't. It's not gonna happen. I've got to work 15-hour days for the next week. Halloween, which I'm already trying to figure out my Halloween costume, and because I love Halloween. So that's always it. And I throw a Christmas party every year. and I decorate my place to the nines. Like, it takes me an entire week to get my place done.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I don't have a big
Nice.
place. It's a small 2-bedroom condo. So
Yeah.
it's not like I'm blowing up huge things for the street and all of that. But yeah, those are my two favorites, is Halloween and the Christmas party, especially
Yeah.
the Christmas pop-ups and stuff, because
Yeah.
they're themed and it's just kind of fun. And the other thing I look forward to too is torturing my father by watching 24 hour or as much of 24 hours of A Christmas Story.
Christmas. That's right. There you go. Who doesn't love that? Shoot your eye out. I love it. Oh, you got it. But yeah, no, absolutely. And see, that's
but
yeah.
it's
Oh, it's great.
Not a
I
finger.
did find me a leg lamp. I do have the actual leg lamp.
Right. It's fragile. It's Italian.
He bought me the actual lamp for Christmas decorations.
All the glue on purpose.
Oh man. So just to round this out, yeah, I always, like I said, these are my favorite 4 months of the year. Because and also a lot of group activities are done. Like my friends and I go apple picking. We'll check out Fright Fest. You know, we go to some of, like you said, the fall festival.
Mhm.
We just like to, because I especially just like to be out. Because like I said, I love hoodie weather, sweater weather. You're just out there. The sun is still shining. It's 40 degrees, but the sun's out. You're like, this is great. I feel good. You know, I'm walking around. The air's coming out of your, through your lungs. It's great. But yeah, I just think like, again, Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays. Now, again, yes, I love to eat. But just because, again, I come together with my family and just every year grateful for them and thankful that they're, that knock on wood, everybody's still here. We're all having a great time together. Thanksgiving is always one of my favorite holidays. Of course, Christmas, because I have young nieces now. I have great nieces now. They're 8 and 3. So, getting the presents, watching them open them on Christmas morning is one of the greatest things in the world. This is just such a happy time for me. I love this time of year. So, yeah, always looking forward to, like you said, Delilah, those apple cider donuts they have at the apple farm that I go to. Oh my God, they're so phenomenal. So yeah, love this fall time of year. I love anything apple, so that's my thing. But yeah, so again, I hope you all are looking forward to the last 4 months of the year as well. And I hope you've all enjoyed our first episode here of season 5 of Let's Talk Football, the Roundtable. We do our best to entertain you, and I think we do a pretty decent job of that and give you the football as well. So our show has officially come to an end. So for Tina Winter, Anthony Handy, and Delilah Crespo, I'm Nick Rosario. Till next week, everybody have a great one. Have a good night.